Welcome back to Right on the Money, providing you and your family the necessary information you need to make informed financial decisions. Again, in case you're just joining us, our guest today, Matthew Gallagher, certified financial planner and founder of Prosperity Wealth Management, located in Dallas, Texas. And Matthew, we've been talking about a bevy of financial topics.
Sure.
It is always a hoot to have you on the show. We've talked about your bona fides, the fact that you are a CFP, certified financial planner. Again, that is I'm in awe because I know what goes into having to get that designation. It's not you can stroke a check and you've got the designation. You've got work to do there, my friend. And you've done it, which is awesome, which makes you a fiduciary acting in people's best interests, which brings us to the new guide that Prosperity Wealth Management has put out, and it is the 15 questions to ask about Social Security. And Social Security is such a huge topic.
Right.
And, you know, one of the first questions that I bet you get when it comes to Social Security is it going to be enough for my retirement? That's all I need,
I get
isn't
that
it?
question a lot. Well, and the answer to that, first of all, I wanted to say thanks, of course, for having me on. It's always an honor to be on your show as well. I feel like I should pull a Tom Cruise and jump up and down on the chair, but then I wouldn't get to come back.
I would love it. You would get to come back every time.
I'd get to come back every time. Maybe I should do that.
Ahead.
But you know, to your question, is Social Security enough? And I get that question over and over and over because people think it will be. And the reality is, not only will it not be enough, it was never intended to be enough. A lot of people don't realize that. No, it was never intended to be enough. It was intended to be a supplement to your income. It was never to be the whole income. So what was counted on that is you're going to have a company pension. You're going to have your Social Security, and you're going to have savings. And so between those three, basically the three-legged approach was going to be your retirement.
Well, and also wasn't Social Security has been around since what, the late 30s, 40s, somewhere around there. Life expectancy was nowhere near what it was. So
that's why that among many issues is why they're running into trouble. And so you may hear Social Security's going broke. I mentioned a minute ago company pensions. How many companies have pensions anymore? It's because companies are going broke. So they took the demand off themselves and put it on you by way of a 401k. And then the average American, this has been for a couple of years now, the average American is actually net negative as far as their net worth. So they're upside down. So when you look at that three-legged approach on the three things that were supposed to supply for your retirement and supposed to carry you through those years, and all three of them are upside down or don't exist anymore, that's a challenge. And so will Social Security be enough in itself? No. That's why you need to work with someone like myself so you can find other income streams and how to get those.
Well, you really do, because it is, while you were talking, it just dawned on me, you really don't run into folks that have a pension anymore. They really
rare to never.
In the private sector, they really don't. In the public sector, I know in the state that I live in, they've gone away from, or they're moving away towards a 401k and putting the responsibility on the employee.
Correct. Well, the defined benefit was the pension, and that basically meant you would work for a company so many years, and then they would pay you based on that. So you knew what you were getting, and you didn't have to worry about it. You didn't have to worry about a market correction. That was the company's concern. Well, now with these defined contribution, basically defined contribution means the company's going to give a match, or they're going to define how much they're going to pay into this plan for you. Their risk, they get to wash their hands of it once they put in whatever they've promised to match you. If your 401k cuts to a 201k, like that old thing you've heard before.
I've heard that before, yeah.
Your company's it doesn't affect them.
Yeah.
So other than they may hopefully like you because you're a nice guy, they don't have to worry about it as far as their books.
Because they put that on. They put the responsibility on
They put the responsibility on you.
You know, something that comes up with Social Security all the time that I always hear is, what age can I get my benefits? When should I get my benefits?
Sure.
And you cover that in here, correct?
I do. I talk about that. And there's a lot of things to cover, or a lot of things to consider when you're talking about that as well, which is why it's important to work with someone who specializes in this area, who's done a lot of Social Security seminars and other things, and counseled and walked a lot of people through, helped them plan for Social Security. Because do you draw early? Do you draw when the government says you're allowed to, as far as on time, without any penalties? Or do you push that back for a future promise that they're giving you?
Absolutely.
So there's a lot to that planning, and it's not just planning on when to draw, but it's planning on when to draw and also considering your other assets.
Sure. And then you have your spouse in the mix here.
Absolutely. Spousal planning is very important with Social Security.
You know something I love about you, Matthew?
What?
All right. So what I love about you,
I hesitated to ask you. I was worried.
You've got the knowledge, the CFP. You're a fiduciary. You can help with such a wide variety of financial topics and decisions and investment choices. But I also love the fact that even you're a younger guy, relatively speaking, to the industry. And even with all that, you've still helped hundreds of people retire. So you've got the experience of helping hundreds of people retire, right. And you're going to be there for, really honestly, decades to come with your clients.
For them, and tell people, I'll be there for you, for your kids, maybe even your grandkids.
Yep. And
I think that's so important when we've talked previously about some of these older planners that they may be retiring. In fact, I get clients from that. Mm-hmm. Well, what brought you in? Well, my planner retired. Sure. Or he's gone to part-time and he never answers his phone. Even if they retire when you retire, that means you're going to be in retirement walking that road alone.
Yep.
And so I tell people, I'm here for you, for your kids, for your grandkids, so that I can help along that way and you have that stability.
I love it. All right, so with the part of you being a fiduciary, acting in your client's best interest, this is just another example of that. This is 15 questions to ask about your Social Security benefit. You can get this on Matthew's website, which I believe we'll have up on the screen here while we're talking, so we've got that. But Matthew, what's the best way for me to get a hold of you?
The best way is you could shoot me an email or you could give me a call. Of course, you mentioned the website. The website will have both of those contact information there. I'll be more than happy to get right back with whoever reaches out and see how we might be able to help them set up a time to visit.
Awesome. So that's the end of this segment. But what we're going to do is we're going to come back after the break and we're going to get to know Matthew on a personal level. I've got some questions for you. You haven't seen them. We're just going to rapid fire them. So that's something that you want to see. So come back right after the break and we're going to learn more about Matthew.